Good morning, everyone. I'm Krystle Chats, and this is the Healthy Gossip. We are at the Comedy Pop-Up Studio in Koreatown, and we're doing it. This is the first time I say good morning because this is the earliest I've ever done an episode. And today I have some amazing guests. I have Daniel, Brody, and our honor producer today is Haley. Cheers and good morning, guys. How are you feeling this morning?
Feeling pretty good.
Okay.
Feeling pretty good. It's been about traveling for about a week, so now I'm like settling back into LA.
All right. Well, thanks for being here.
Yeah.
And do you live in Long Beach?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And good morning, Haley.
Good morning.
So Haley's actually been an honor producer before on the Healthy Gossip, and I was running late per usual, and I didn't get to tell her, like, hey, talk. I like a little voice in the background. So today, you'll get a little taste of Haley. So real quick, before we get into what I want to get into, I need to address a troll that I had. Somebody decided to basically summarize my podcast and leave that as a comment and then give it 1 star. The guy said this. He goes, "She's an open mic comedian who talks about comedy and how she might have a drinking problem and can't hold down a relationship for more than a week." And I'm like, that's exactly what my podcast is about. It's like, so what's funny about it is like, that's the healthy gossip. The healthy gossip is like people, like we all have struggles. You know, we all want to like take risks and do things. But there's just so much hate out there and like negativity. And it's like, yeah, I'm sorry, bro. I'm an open mic comic. Like, that's what I do. Like, so I can't have a podcast because I'm only an open mic comic. You get it? That's like so crazy. And then the next part is like, the can't hold really, like, I literally, my whole first episode is like talking about how I'm like not dating anyone. And then I wanted to get back on the dating apps to like get material. Yes, I use.
How's that going? Are you on the dating apps?
Negative. I was, again, and I only get on for like 2 days at a time, and then I'll like give my number out, and that's too much to handle.
Here's the real question though: does it give you good material when you are on the dating apps?
Yeah, absolutely. Like I still use, like when I got back on earlier this year, I still use a joke from that
Keeps
experience.
you locked and loaded.
Yeah.
Nice.
Are you guys on the dating apps?
No, I'm not.
Are you in a relationship?
I'm not in a relationship.
Okay, and you?
Used to be on the dating apps, not in a relationship.
Off the dating apps.
Off the dating apps.
Haley?
Off the dating apps, but I download them when I'm bored.
A single though.
Yeah, very single.
Okay, cool.
Never meet anyone off of there though.
Are you dating anyone right now? Like
yeah,
just okay. You
like
have some
casual.
like second dates have already happened.
Like more than second dates, but like I'm busy.
Nice.
You know?
Savage. I love it.
I love
Savage.
it. Both of us are busy.
Well, like, oh no, I'm just saying. Well, you know, it's like, well, there's that like if you have time, you make time idea. You know, so it's like you're like, no, my free time is my time.
Yeah.
Go away. I have that situation. Like people that I'm dating, they're like, just. They say let's hang out like it's so easy and that it's not exhausting. And it's like, I have not slept. And on my podcast, I always talk about like health tips, like for example. And I just want to let you know, I'm gonna stop saying the health tip was sleep. But I want to go off on one more tangent and say before we hit record, Haley was telling me that I look so young. And to the hater, that's why I'm allowed to talk about health. It's like, I've walked the walk. I'm 32, bro. Like, I've never had Botox. Get out of here.
32 found the fountain of youth.
Well, it's just like, because I've tried a lot of diets. Like, I've tried the paleo diet. I've tried the keto diet. I've done a raw vegan diet. I've water fasted for more than a week. I'm pretty sure the number was like 8 days. I've done the master cleanse for 11 days. Like, I've done all this shit. So, and that's my same argument for being an open mic comic. Like, yeah, I don't make a living off of comedy, but I've been doing comedy for years, so I can talk about it. You know, I'm just sharing my experiences. And then shout out, gone mouth. And shout out to Sean for saying it's like I don't brand this podcast as a gossip, like as a advice column. It's like, oh, come here for advice on comedy. Like, no, we're just talking about it. It's a podcast. So that's in the past now. Okay, so the real reason why we're here today is because it is a part of my life that I'm in the cannabis industry. So my first job was at a delivery service in Orange County, which I eventually no longer went on deliveries. I was a glorified operator.
Wait, so they were having you do the deliveries?
Initially.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Yeah. Why?
Down in OC.
Oh,
It's just, I always find it interesting when females are delivering the weed.
we only had girls delivering the weed.
Really?
Yeah. You've never heard of Budman Delivery or Budman OC?
Not familiar.
Yeah, girls only.
Killing it.
We have male workers, but deliveries, just the girls.
Why
Crushed
is it weird
Crushing.
that girls are delivering it?
I guess it's a stigma that's stuck in my head that needs to be broke. You know?
Solid answer.
Dangerous.
Yeah.
These cute little girls running around in mini skirts and Priuses, like with ounces in their duffel bags. Is like, it's really, it is interesting because you are driving around with like ounces of weed
Right.
and 1,000 milligram edibles and just funny things, and then you just go up and there you are with your little package, and it is funny because people are scared when they order from us. They're like, is it discreet? Like they think we're gonna roll up in some weed car
Oh,
with
right.
like cannabis and reggae blazing, like we got your order. And then so then after that, I moved back to LA. Now I work at Cookies on Melrose, and that's how Brody and I met. Shout out.
Boom, cookies. I was with Zach Miller Dog. We was out cruising the territory, filming a little bit. Zach, the comedian, other comedian.
From where were you though, cruising around?
No, up in Hollywood. That's how we met.
Oh,
At the
that's why you were
Cookies.
out there.
Yeah.
Okay, that's right. And so you tell us about what you do. Like, what's your brand? Like, tell them who you are. Go. This is what I
so-
want people to know.
We are, I guess, Danny Savage right here and I were the nice guys, or
Yeah,
a part of them. We are part
drop
of
your
Mr.
handle.
Mr. Nice Guy. Oh, mine is the Nice Guy B, and then I'll let
Mine's that nice guy, Danny Savage.
Okay.
boom
Shout
dropping
out.
handles.
Yes.
Follow us.
For sure.
Anyways.
I'll put it in the bio.
We're Mr. Nice Guy. We're part of Mr. Nice Guy. We're a distribution company out here in LA. We partnered with a few brands, and so we're able to distribute their products throughout California, starting with SoCal right now, though. So, like, our most famous brand that we have right now is VVS Pens.
Mm-hmm. So that's
by,
Ben Baller.
Yeah,
Okay.
Ben Baller whipping up dust. But then we have just a ton of edibles, honestly.
Okay.
So it's like he's like our main vape line. We don't have flour, which is unfortunate.
Okay, because I'm a little stoned. Like, explain to me exactly like how someone would, because I'm not even still quite understanding like the how the company works exactly. So like, so how would somebody reach out to you to like have?
So the dispensaries, I guess, would be reaching out to us to stock their shelves with the brands that we carry.
You have a question, Haley?
No, I'm just like, oh, now I understand. So you're distributors.
Yes.
More or less.
Yes,
Okay.
exactly. So
See, she didn't understand.
we
either.
would go from like the cultivators or manufacturers of these vape pens or these edibles, and then it goes from manufacturer to distribution, and then from distribution down to retail.
Okay.
So we're the distribution
So
part.
people can buy from you, like bulk if they want.
Not people. You have to have a license. It has to go
Okay.
license to license. So
Okay.
from a manufacturer license to a retail license, or a manufacturer
Okay.
to distribution, then to retail.
Okay. So, Mr. Nice Guy is just someone who distributes VVS. That's what it's called? What's the name of the brand?
Yeah, VVS pens.
Okay.
That's one of them. So like we have LOL edibles, Happy Co. Let's see, Sweet Greens, Heavy Supreme, and a few others.
Yeah, I've never heard of any of those companies.
Yeah, I mean everybody's still pretty new.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, that's one thing that just blows my mind about the industry is that the brands, like we're the pioneers of this insane. I mean,
Pioneers. Love it.
yeah, of this, this it technically just like alcohol, back in the bootleg days. Like we just now we're slowly just like literally like state by state,
Right.
it's illegal in other states and we make our livings like off of cannabis.
There's
so
still
it's
some
bizarre.
people like doing live for non-violent marijuana crimes to this day, right now. Like, have you been to the Weed Maps Museum
No.
So-
Where is it?
in West Hollywood? I think just like right up the way. Not-
Weed Maps Museum, guys. I need to
Check
put
it
this- I'm
out.
putting this in my notes.
Yeah, that's a place I need to check out. But in there was like there's 4 in one exhibit. There's like 4 people right there, and then you can read their bios.
Okay.
And there's people.
Sorry.
Interesting. But there's people still doing life, and it was just nonviolent. They just had a bulk amount of marijuana on them.
Like what's
Or
a
they were
bulk? So
trafficking.
it was probably a pound, right?
Maybe more. But then I also read just like 2 days ago, it was like some truck mechanic. He's doing life because he was working on the semis that was supposedly transporting the pot.
Oh wow, no way. See, and that's why I need to like fact check, but I heard like a lady in an airport got in trouble for having CBD on her.
Probably.
Yeah, and it's so bizarre because also people come into Cookies every day and 50% are tourists, so they want to know, like, can I take this? And honestly, on 2 different websites, you'll get 2 different answers. Like, I'm pretty sure LAX, do not quote me, says you might be able to like take it in your carry-on, but I would just logically think that it's wiser to put it in your check-on, like the bag you're checking,
Well, LAX doesn't care. They've said that. It's where you end up going. So if you check your bag, you're actually more in danger of getting caught or it being taken
Right.
away because they'll search it.
Oh.
Whereas your carry-on, they're just doing a little X-ray. You go through LAX.
But do they search it though? That's my thing.
Some
because
people
what if
do. They
first of
steal
all,
from it
well,
too.
what if it's locked? I lock my little thing that I check. What
That's
are
why
you
they
gonna
have
do now?
crowbars. And that's why you only get
Yeah, but I
the
don't.
ones that are safe for airports. You never seen that before? Like when you lock up your bag, you have to get one that's like airport approved or else they'll crowbar it off.
Mine isn't even a
Wow.
lock. Mine is you just turn the numbers and you gotta guess the number.
I'm out here flying with no locks.
Well,
You two are being safe, extra safe.
mine just I wouldn't have a lock if it wasn't on my suitcase. Mine you literally just turn the numbers and then you just can't open it.
I
feel
think
like
they
you
need a
have it.
warrant with the lock though, if I'm not mistaken. But back to like LAX, you can like fly up to it with an ounce,
Yeah, I
which
know.
is wild.
It is wild. They're selling
Wild.
the Runts original pre-rolls on the East Coast for like $100.
Really?
Something stupid. Yeah, they're like in the streets. These go for $100. I'm like 100. I smoked Runts yesterday. It's what? Have you guys smoked Runts?
I haven't.
Kind of familiar, but what's the wave with Runts? Because they're hot right now.
I don't. I honestly can't even tell you what it's like mixed with. It's like, and I'm really embarrassed because I should know. I'm gonna do a really bad guess. It's like Gushers and Skittles or something mixed together, and then you have Runs. Sorry if I'm wrong, bro. I'll Google it later. But well, that's another thing too. Some of the bud tenders at Cookies, like if they say like what is it mixed with, they'll say we can't tell you. Like we don't want other growers to know, and I love it so much. I'm like that's hilarious because, well, some of them are obvious, like gelato biscotti, but the other ones are just they don't say. I like it. Anyways, back to the Runts. I smoked it yesterday. I think it's like a hybrid, honestly. What I love smoking like hybrids and like deciding whether I think they're indica or sativa dominant. And the reason why I think it, honestly, I'm gonna start telling people it's sativa dominant hybrid because I was so tired yesterday and I smoked it and I was fine. Like I didn't get sleepy. I did get to bed at a reasonable hour though, so maybe I'll stop being a hater and say it's an indica. Anyways. So, yeah, this is some really, sorry if you guys weren't following that and you didn't know anything about weed, but that's what we're here for. So, how did you get into the game? You tell us your story first. Daniel.
So, prior to me being in cannabis, I was working at Taco Bell. So, I was in like fast food for about 3 or 4 years.
Look,
And
shout out to their vegan menu.
yeah.
Hey.
And so one day I just got fed up with it because I was trying to make my way towards management, and I just seen how miserable everyone was. And so I was just like, this isn't for me. I cut ties. And then I got a job working door to door in sales. And that lasted about 2 weeks. Then I got a phone call from my cousin saying that there's this, he knows this vendor and they're hiring. So
Who was the vendor?
the vendor was, I forgot what company it was in the beginning because I
Okay.
worked for a few different ones.
Okay.
But anyway, so pretty much in my mindset, I had it like, yo, I got this job. I'm going to get it. Called him up, set up a meeting. A week later, we met up. And then a week later, he's training me. And so I started my career that way. And then about 3 or 4 months ago, I ran into Brody.
Oh, okay.
And then, he introduced me to the nice guys. And,
Okay.
he's just showing me the nice guy way now.
Crushing it.
I love
Out here
it.
crushing it.
That's cool. Okay, cool. Yeah, and honestly, that's what I love too. Is like it's just networking.
100%.
Yeah, I have a friend who's like, you have to come with me to these mixers, or whatever. And I'm like, oh, I have to work, and they're just like, do you want to sell weed or do you want to get discovered? Because it's all about networking. It really is. It's so funny. Like they want us to like go out and like just mingle, and I'm just like, well, I'm just gonna be an open mic comedian for the rest of my life. I'm just kidding. Okay. And then you, how long ago? And how many years ago was that?
This was 2 years ago.
Okay, cool. I love it. That's awesome. And for you, how many years ago was it?
I hopped in September of 2016, but I started in Portland.
No shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
came
I love
down-
Portland, by the way.
Same. Portland's
Oh.
dope.
Like, I'd raise a family in Portland.
Bookstore and Voodoo
What?
Donuts. You can live off of that.
Voodoo's bomb.
Voodoo's bomb. I like walking by Voodoo and just seeing the names. I
Yeah.
don't really like eating Voodoo Donuts, but it's cool that it's there. You know about Voodoo Donuts, right, Krystle?
I've been. I was
Nice.
sad though because I was really wasted, so I didn't really get to enjoy it. One of those nights where you're like, I ate chocolate chip pancakes last night. I don't even remember. I bet you they were amazing. Yeah, it was like that. I mean, I remembered, but like,
It just went into the abyss. a
you
little
know,
It
yeah.
happens. There's like a few bars around there. I'm guilty of doing that.
I got in
Once.
trouble for taking my phone out in the jumbo room, the room where they have like, you guys have never heard of this? You
No.
No.
lived there and you don't know what this is. It's this crazy like freak show strip club.
What?
What?
That's
Okay,
like
let's listen to it.
amazing. Honestly, like you
Wait.
cannot.
What was this place called again?
Jumbo's something. Not the one here. It's in Portland, Oregon.
It was a
can
strip
you
club.
can you Google it right quick?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, and thanks, Haley. And it's the most like if you go in there high, you're like, how could I not take out my phone, man? It almost like I want to get like a little camera just to be like, oh wait, I just want to show my friends. It's amazing, like midgets doing the most little people. There, I said my first
Politically
politically incorrect thing on my podcast so far. I've never said anything else that I said midget.
You get 3 freebies, I'm pretty sure. so.
Okay, cool. Well, according to the reviews, I'm already, what's that word again? Canceled. I would like to, did you guys watch the new Chappelle special?
The what special?
The Chappelle?
No.
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 Oh,
Did
no,
not.
you have to watch it. That should have been your homework. You want to be on my podcast? Watch the Chappelle special.
Should have sent it over.
No, but thank you so much for being here last minute. I really appreciate that.
Absolutely. Thanks for having us on.
Of course. Okay, so Portland, Oregon, what company were you with?
Back then, up there they have LOL edibles,
Oh, yeah, okay.
and so
We sold those at Bud Band.
really,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Mhm.
So they had LOL edibles up there, and I was up there from September to basically like January of 17.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't ready. Like they weren't. When I was up there, that's when they were doing like metrics and the seed to sell, and then their company at the time they weren't ready for all that.
I don't know what that means.
So basically, seed to sell. Basically, when you drop a seed into the pot and then it starts growing, it's gonna get an ID tag,
Okay.
and then as it grows, it gets its buds. Boom, gets cut, cultivated. Those buds are gonna have that same ID tag,
Okay.
and then as soon as it gets put into your jar for your eighth, or if it gets ground up and made into an edible, that ID tag is gonna follow it onto that packaging.
Okay.
So then the end consumer, like it's seed to sell.
Okay.
It's tracked. So they weren't ready for that quite yet up there. So then there was opportunity down here. And so January of 17, I moved to Hollywood. And I was in Hollywood for about 6 months. And then I got started vending. Then it's been like history from there.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
How did you like living in Hollywood?
I can see myself coming back.
Which part, like where in Hollywood were you?
I was right off Highland.
Oh, you were in Hollywood.
Yeah. I was off Highland and Franklin, basically.
Because I feel like I can kind of technically get away with where I live and say it's Hollywood because it's like right on the border. I'm like in that weird, sneaky little border where it's like LA, West Hollywood, almost Hollywood. So it's a really cool neighborhood.
That's super central.
Hashtag blessed.
Right. Hashtag
Also-
fortunate.
I have the Jumbo Room pictures if you
Oh,
all
it
wanna,
is
like,
Jumbo Room.
It's Jumbo Clown Room.
Jumbo
What?
Clown
Y'all wanna,
Room.
like,
See,
look through it?
and then there's that one here in LA called Jumbo's Clown House.
Oh.
Yeah.
Here,
so
you gotta flip to see the...
Do you know what? I might have been here once. I was like, I've never heard of it, but that kind of looks familiar. I may have stumbled in there. Do you know what's crazy about Portland is it's like full nude open bar. Like full nude, full bar, which was really weird and crazy. Because I lived in Vegas for about 4 years.
Thank you so much.
And they don't have
You lived in
that.
Vegas for 4 years?
Yeah.
How old are you again?
26.
Oh, you're a little gypsy boy.
So originally I'm from Utah. I moved out of Utah when I turned 19.
Okay.
And then I went to Vegas.
Okay.
Vegas for 4 years.
How'd you like that? I lived in Vegas for 6 months.
Vegas was dope.
Yes, I love it when people love their experience.
Vegas was dope. It was fucking hot, but
I
it was
loved
dope.
it too. I really did.
Yeah. What'd you
Yeah.
do out there?
I worked for State Farm, bro. And honestly, that's
Hey.
probably the reason. No, I'm sorry to say this, but that's why I left. Because I heard if you get into the industry out there, you just get stuck. You start making like at least close to 6 figures because
The
you're
food
in
and
Vegas.
beverage,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
entertainment, yeah.
And so, because I was a waitress for years, especially when I first moved out here. So I told myself that. I was like, some nights I was making $300 a night in San Antonio at a strip club. And so I was just like, if I make that kind of money in Vegas, I'm not going to leave. So I got the fuck out of there. Because that was my next
Yeah.
move, because I was not going to like stay working at State Farm because of money. Like, I saw all these other people just making so much money, and I was like, okay. I was just trying to like not burn myself out too, because I went out there because I was really stressed and I just wanted to get away from some people. And it was so much fun having like a day job, and then everyone comes, so you're just like living a normal life, but then you just have Vegas just right there. So it was such an interesting experience. And everyone goes to Vegas. So literally every weekend it's like, I'm here, I'm in Vegas. Want to come out? And then driving in that city is so easy, so you're almost like obligated. You can't go, oh man, that's like an hour and 15-minute
Right.
drive. It's like, all right, I'll be there in 20 minutes, you know? That's-
Literally, like wherever you're at, strip, 20 minutes.
Yeah. Cool. So what is your like, what is your like next step in the industry? Like, where do you see things going? Are there any goals that you have? Or are you in the place right now where you're like, no, this is just what I want to do. Like, I'm happy with this. Like,
So we have a lot of big things coming with Mr. Nice Guy.
okay.
So it's just continuing.
What about a store? Is
continuing
that
growth.
ever like?
We have a storefront down in Santa Ana, right off the 55.
Shut up.
Yeah.
No way.
Yes.
Okay, so you're like that's why. So you guys are just basic. Do you have Nice Guy products?
Those are coming.
I have a hoodie, so that's a product.
Hey.
Cop one.
And you can get all the merch online now. So
Okay.
it's being sold, but you
'Cause
got hooked up.
I think that's what is confusing about the industry is that nobody, like, everyone will look at Mr. Nice Guy and they're like, what the fuck is that? And I'm like, I don't know. It's a weed brand. Like, so it's flour. It's like, it's lots of things. Same thing for Puffy. People were like, what's Puffy? You know, is it a vape? Is it a delivery service? Like, you know, people who don't smoke, why would they care to know?
Right.
It's not like they're looking it up. I want to Google what Puffy is. Like, I don't smoke. I don't care, you know?
Uh.
So a lot of people just, or they'll see the cookies and they'll go, oh, I've seen that brand.
Right.
They're like, and a lot of tourists walk in thinking we're literally a bake shop. We're here for the cookies. It's like, no, cannabis. They're like, what? Yeah. So it's just so interesting as people don't know the brands. And there's so, like, even you
Right.
guys are in there. And I didn't know about Runts before I worked at Cookies. I didn't even know about Runts either.
Yeah.
The
I just
strain.
barely started seeing them around.
And it's interesting because Right. And I'm like, so we have Canatique runts, and I can't even tell you where all of the other runts come from, like in our store. I should, again, probably have that memorized. But it's funny because they don't, I just walk into the store every day and like, so the 3 strains that we have that everybody wants are Gary Payton, Cheetah Piss, and cereal milk. That's like, if we have that, you're hot shit. So we don't have any of those strains right now. But I could literally walk into work today and be like, oh, we have Gary Payton. And they don't tell you. I can't tell my customers, oh, it drops tomorrow. Like, it's literally that exclusive. Blueberry
Wow.
Cruffin, which I smoked yesterday. So 2 strains. Customers came in and asked for it. They knew they knew we had it, and I didn't even know because they dropped it on Instagram. It was the Mac 1 and the Blueberry Cruffin. I didn't know we had it. They were like, hey, do you have the Mac 1? And I was like, oh, never heard of it. And I had to go ask someone. They're like, oh, yeah, we just got it right now. And I'm just like, how the fuck do these people? It's crazy.
What?
The game is interesting. It's almost like sneakers. You
Right.
know, like, oh, where do you go get the new Yeezys? Like, I
Yeah.
honestly don't know. Like, I've never known where to get them. Now I know that you can get them on, like, websites and stuff. But, like, if they're like, oh, what store in LA is going to have the next drop, I couldn't tell you.
I think
'Cause
it
I
like
don't care.
follows suit with Melrose though. You guys are right there. You know,
Mhm.
so it's like Fairfax and Melrose, like all the fashion stores, they do the same thing.
Yeah,
It's
that's
following
true.
suit. It's Hollywood.
Okay, cool.
I don't
so,
know.
yeah, no, it's just interesting, and I can't believe like people wear Yeezys in this neighborhood like they're Vans. It's bizarre. It's so bizarre. Like, it's an interesting culture to experience because it's like we're on the border of like West Hollywood and Beverly Hills, and then you just have. Like a few days ago, I'm supposed to call him Rose now. I'm sorry, Rose. You're Rick Ross to me, and you always will be. So, I just hate name changes. Like Jennifer Lopez, J Lo. She's J Lo now. How do you guys feel about that?
Miss J-Lo. J-Lo's cool.
I know, but you like that name better. You just I guess I'm just being a hater. See, now I'm being a hater.
I mean, I like J-Lo, but I don't fuck with Snoop Lion.
Snoop
You know what I mean?
Lion.
Snoop Lion's a little
Oh,
different.
there you go. That's my point.
Like, J-Lo's cute. Snoop Lion is trying too hard, for sure.
And what was the other one? There's a few others that happened. Yeah, what's one more? Come on, guys. This is the game that we're going to play. What's one more rebrand that was just like, I don't.
Didn't Ice Cube go through a rebrand at one point?
No, okay, here, but I found a bad one.
Hmm.
When Prince was the artist formerly known as Prince and he called himself that logo, like, get out of here, bro. You're Prince. Artist formerly known as Prince. Have you heard that new song by the artist formerly known as Prince? Okay, that's my point. Is that Rose? I'm just salty because I hate being corrected. Like he's Rose now. He's not Rick Ross because I called him that. But anyways, like it's fun just to like
Rose.
see these people come in, and it's like okay, yeah, cool. This is the we're like the Saks Fifth Avenue, or that's a bad analogy. We're like the Whole Foods now of cannabis because it's like it's definitely overpriced. It's expensive. You can get cheaper, amazing weed other places, but you know I like shopping at Whole Foods. I really do, and I buy our weed. I love it. London Pound Cake number 75. Shout out. What's your favorite strain?
My favorite strain's going to be the gelato.
Gelato.
Yeah,
And why is that? And gelato's a hybrid.
correct.
Yeah, and tell people why you enjoy smoking gelato.
I just enjoy.
And wait, I'm gonna interrupt. And the reason why I want you to explain it is because you can get gelato anywhere. Like you can't walk into any store and go, "Could I have the London Pound Cake number 75?" Like no, you can only get it at Cookies, but you can walk into almost any dispensary and say, "What gelatos do you have?" So I think it's worth to say why you like smoking gelato.
Absolutely. Well, I first found gelato in like the medicinal shops. You know, pick up a decent eighth for 45, and it was just always nice. I love the way it smelled. I love-
45 before or after tax?
well, this was like trap shop wise.
No tax.
No tax at
Cool.
all. So yeah, I just found it there, and it was just my go-to. It was always a nice high. Never slumped, never too stimulated, and it smells great.
Okay, cool. Perfect. So you would say it's a perfect hybrid.
Perfect hybrid.
Okay, and what's your favorite strain?
Overall, I don't know. I just like OGs.
OG.
Yeah, I'm
Can
not
you
really
so
like a.
OG and Kush is the same thing? Yes or no?
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because-
Sure.
Yeah, well, because I feel like they'll call it like an OG Kush, But then I've heard LA Kush, and they'll be like, yeah, LA Kush, it's an OG, like weird shit. Like, and I even tried Googling it the other day, and I was like, wait, so is Kush and OG the same thing?
I don't know. See, all this terminology still gets me confused.
Okay, see, there you go.
Yeah.
And this is why we need to talk about it.
Yeah.
So if you guys are confused, we work in the industry and we're still a little confused. Like I have these people walk up to me and they're like, I like that earthy, that earthy smell, or I like that fruity smell, you know? But I'll pick up something that's called, well, I was going to say pineapple, limoncello. Limoncello, honestly, I don't feel like it smells too fruity, but you might get tricked by the name. But pineapple punch, that smells fruity. So OGs.
OGs are good.
Because they're indica.
I like indicas, yeah.
OGs, indica. And why do you like smoking indica?
Because I feel it more in the body, you know? That's the whole reason why I even got started smoking cannabis in the first place, was like the body high and like the relaxation, the relaxed feeling.
Do you feel like that it makes you sleepy?
Some.
Okay.
So then it gets into like, and this is also pretty confusing as well, is like the terpenes and the entourage effect with the cannabinoids.
Can you explain, like?
I can explain to like the best of my ability, to my knowledge.
Well, terpenes?
Yeah, so terpenes are like the essential oils of the cannabis plant, which gives it its like aroma and its taste.
Okay. That's a perfect explanation.
But
Beautiful.
with thank you. With the cannabinoids, so I guess like the terpene profile or the percentage of terpenes within the cannabis and the cannabinoids, so your THC, your CBD, and everything in between, it interacts differently. So I guess it's like if you have like an indica, but then the terpene.
And that's the what effect? What did you call it?
The entourage effect.
And that's what that is?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like everything working together synergistically within your body. Blah, blah, blah.
Beautiful. That was
You
a
know.
great explanation. I've never heard that.
Yeah.
So I like it. I feel like that's what I'm trying to explain to people when they ask me about the THC to CBD ratio. Like in a way. Like, do you know about all that?
Like the 1-to-1.
Yeah.
I don't know the medicinal benefits of those products personally. I probably should educate myself.
Yeah.
But
Well, if you're not working with it, then no. I mean, like but eventually, and I always recommend people to just use the CBD.
yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. I mean, I just know that, or from what I've read anyways, is that when you have THC and CBD together, it's more effective than if you isolate one of them by itself.
100%.
So
Yeah.
That's like where
perfect.
I'm at.
And that is absolutely correct. And that's why that's kind of like the not related at all to the entourage.
no, I mean that's basically like the same thing. I would assume.
Yeah. Do you smoke, Haley?
Yes, but only what is handed to me.
Okay, so you've never purchased.
Oh dang, we should have smoked.
No.
No, no. Jeez, look at all that. She's
I'm a bad high. You know what I mean?
uh-huh.
I forget how to type when I'm high. So like this needs to be pretty sober.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
Do you have like a worse story?
A worse story? Yeah, I went to school the first time I smoked and I forgot how to type. And I was producing a show because I worked in the news station.
Oh no.
And my co-producer had to excuse me, told my teacher I was very sick, which was not right. I had to get someone else to do my job because I stared at my keyboard for about 5 minutes and I was like, I don't know what I'm doing.
So you have like PTSD from weed.
No, I still do it all the time. I'm willing to make multiple mistakes. But yeah.
Do you have you guys have a worst edibles story or like weed story?
I know I have.
Go for it.
All right, so I was in like 7th grade, and I had bought a brownie, and I just completely destroyed it all. I don't know how many milligrams it was in there, but middle of my English class, it hits me, smacks me, and it was just like
11th grade, you said?
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah. So, and then it's like everything that could go wrong. Teacher called me to start reading, and I'm just like, you got to be kidding me. So I'm pretty sure I was slow. I really can't remember. But going on to my next class, I sat next to my friend, or someone who I thought my friend was after this incident. But again, I was slumped, super slumped.
I'm surprised you could even walk.
Yeah. So I was just pretty much gonna go in there, sleep, and then she like calls my teacher over and she's just like, yo, I think Daniel's high, why don't you check him out? And I'm looking at her like, yo, what is going on? Like, I thought we were homies, And I'm just like, all right, maybe she's joking. Oh, Mr. Musmer, his eyes are looking pretty red, I'm just like, oh, girl, So anyways,
Yeah.
so anyways, so he comes over and he looks at me. He's just like, yeah, you know, your eyes are looking pretty glossy. But he didn't care, you know. I had it cool with him like that. She didn't know that, but
Dang.
so then she was just
You
like,
got one of the
oh my God,
teachers
I'm
more
so
gangster.
sorry, I'm so sorry, and I'm just like, you know what? I think you should move away from my desk. Move away from my desk, please.
He's still mad at you, bitch. He's still mad at
Still
you.
mad, still hold that grudge.
Yeah, I would too. But like, you can never smoke with me ever again.
Never again. Out the sesh.
Although
That's
one
funny.
time when I was in the 9th grade, I didn't really like know the rules about not opening the door to like let the cops see. It was a party that I was throwing at my cousin's apartment, and the cops came. I ran up the stairs. I opened the door and I was like, "The cops are here!" And then I turned around and I booked it in the other direction, and I hid behind it like a fucking dumpster or some shit like that. Just and then they're like, "So you snitched on your own party, and then you ran and hid like a little bitch."
Oh my
So,
gosh.
but I didn't do it on purpose. So I felt like she was doing it on purpose. Like, what did she want to happen to you?
I have no clue.
Like, did she want you to get like suspended or something?
I guess. I don't know. That's what
What's
I
it-
was trying to get. I'm like,
Just don't say her name. But whoever you are, fuck you.
if you're watching this, you know who you are. Still
Danny
follow me on
Savage.
Instagram.
That is so funny. Okay. And what's your story? Wait, but that's honestly though, that's not that bad.
I mean,
Come
for
on.
the time
My
being,
teacher almost caught me. Oh, I got a story.
I think it was just like how plastered I was and like how much I had to like.
Well, you lost a friend though too.
Yeah.
That's pretty bad.
Lost a homie. All right. You know what? Dang, he lost a homie. I'm sorry. I didn't even. I was normally people are like, yeah. Then all of a sudden I did something that's like really
Like some psychedelic trip comes out of like their whole edible experience.
exactly.
See, I
Yeah.
haven't quite had that. Whoever has that kind of edibles, like, pass it this way. Yeah.
Okay, so what happened to you?
I don't. There's been like one time where I got sick from like a homemade brownie, but that wasn't that bad. I guess like recently when I lived in Hollywood, there was a friend and I. This isn't really like a bad story, I would say, but we had 7 packs of 300 milligram sour belts, and that was insane. Like we ate all 7 packs. So that's like 2,100 milligrams.
But you know, that's my beef with your company is like, because it's not a true measure, like milligrams.
No, these were some randoms. These were
Yeah. Okay.
like Flavor X had belts back then.
Okay.
And so it was
Because that was my beef with some of the like there was this organic line that we carried and it was like 500 milligrams and I ate like 4 gummy bears and I was barely stoned and I was like, no.
back then, right? Like the milligrams were so off.
Yeah, but then
Super
you could
off.
eat this much of 100. Ew, I touched this. This much of 100 milligram edible, and like that's my story. My story is that I couldn't get up to turn my lamp off. I was like,
Have you? Sorry, go ahead.
but no,
Go ahead.
I cut you off. Like, so wait, what happened? Like you were just that
So-
was your story.
Well, no. So we ate like 2,100
we were like
milligrams.
so high.
So it's like split between us. It's like 1050. So 1,000 milligrams basically. I mean, give or take, say 200 milligrams. We're still up around 800 maybe.
But that's what I'm saying. To me, it doesn't matter what the number is. It matters just how high you were.
Lit. Have you ever woke up on your bed like fully clothed, light on, phone dead?
Okay, yeah, that's what happened to you.
Yeah.
Oh, so you blacked out.
Basically.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, that's not fun either. I want to know that humiliating stuff that you remember that the next day and you're like, what did I do?
I mean, I don't really find myself in those positions. See, now if you
Oh,
were-
you're just so cool.
if
aren't
I
you,
would have
Brody?
well, no, but had we been doing this when I lived in Vegas, that would have been a different story, you know.
Well, then tell us a Vegas story.
I was a drinker back then.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Heavy
we
drinker.
won't. Do you not drink anymore?
Not too much.
Okay, good for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that though. Like, dude, alcohol exponentially worse than weed.
So bad.
Like, because shout out to Dean Del Rey. He does a bit about that, and he just basically talks about how no, like, he gets like give somebody 100 milligram edible, but then give somebody an 8-ball, and like let's see who's gonna like cause the most trouble. He goes.
An 8-ball. That escalated quickly.
He goes, yeah. He was like, this guy with the 100 milligram edible, he's still gonna be here tomorrow, you know?
Right.
Who knows where that other guy's gonna end up? But yeah. So that's one thing like I hate about the stigma behind weed though is like it's a plant. Like it really pisses me off when these customers walk in there and they don't know it's cannabis and they're like, no, like, oh no.
Like if they touch it, they're gonna die.
Like, did the camera see me walk over here? It's gonna ruin my reputation. Like, or they'll be like, they'll go right up to me, the person who works in the store, and go, "Is this gonna be on my record?" It's like, I work here, bro. Like,
It's like, yeah, you're gonna.
should I be ashamed of working here? 'Cause I'm sure, like some guys probably like, I can't tell you, I can't tell my mother I date you. You sell weed for a living.
Do they all work for the federal government? I mean,
Even the feds be smoking. Let's be real. Everybody's smoking.
it's true.
dude.
For sure. We all like to
Dude.
unwind.
Yeah. Okay. So, what is the last little bit here that this has been fun, guys. I'm so glad you're here. Is there any like new drops or anything or like new events? Because you always send me invites to those really cool parties that you're at or comedy shows that are all cannabis events. So, is there anything coming up that people need to look out for?
Let's see. September 14th, we've partnered. Well, we're a part of a beach cleanup down in Long Beach. So shout out to like Inspired by Cannabis. They're the ones really kind of putting everything together, bringing everybody together down there. Basically, just
Wait, where is it at?
in Long Beach.
Okay.
I think probably at the Alamitos Beach,
Okay, cool.
to be specific.
And you're gonna post
September
about
14th.
it though.
Yeah.
How much is the entry fee?
Honestly, if you can come out and pick up some plastic off the beach, that's all that we're asking.
Oh, okay. So it's just a beach cleanup.
Literally just a beach cleanup.
And then there's going to be a party while you guys are cleaning up the beach?
Sure.
Is that what? Because I'm sorry. I was like looking.
So
at-
there's
I want to understand.
I don't think I fully understand this whole thing specifically quite yet, but there's like I would say 8 to 10 companies right now that's coming out, cannabis companies. So there's definitely going to be some cannabis consumption out there, but we're all just going to be cleaning up the earth, you know.
That's what I was going to say. This podcast is going to be called The Confusing World of Cannabis.
Yeah.
No, because it is. And I love that, though. And that's so sick about cleaning up the beach. I love that because, like, the only thing that you're going to be putting back on the beach is ashes from all the...
Right.
So let's go put dirt on the beach while we pick up the trash. It's really sad, though. Do you guys
Basically.
know why straws were banned?
The turtles, right?
Well, like, because you understand why, like, this is okay, but a straw is not okay?
Inform us.
Right.
Please.
I didn't know either because I would go into some of these restaurants and I'd see the what are the plastic green straws that they said are supposedly compost straws or something?
Compostable ones, the
But-
paper ones.
No, they were green, but that's what I said. So I went into this coffee shop around the street from my apartment. And they had paper straws. And I said, hey, man. I was like, but really? I was like, what about those cool green ones that I've seen in some places that, like, are like plastic? Because I figured they were just some new science, you know. And she goes, no. She goes, those are still bad unless they compost them, which nobody does. So most of those just end up in the trash anyways. So apparently the reason why the plastic straws are bad is the machine that recycles plastic, the straws slip through the cracks. Yeah, so something like this is not going to slip through, which is why, because I was like,
What?
this is still bad. I was like, you guys are full of it. Yeah, so the straws were slipping through the cracks, and that's what was killing all the turtles and animals or whatever. And I was like, mind blown.
That's wild.
Yeah, I was thinking it was literally like just plastic. And I'm like, bro, there's so many other ways to say it. Yeah, no, it was the straws slipping through the cracks of the machines. So now I'm like, God dang it. Now I'll like, I don't even like drinking out of this. Like, I feel guilty, you know, but I still buy bottled water. I hate it. But that's why I'm a born again vegan, because I'm like, all right, I'll stop.
Born again vegan.
Dude, I used to be a raw vegan. Like, I'm like next level gnarly. Like, I was like low key, like, oh, I've decided I'm an alchemist shaman woman that's just gonna live off of the land and eat fruits, vegetables, seeds, and nuts for the rest of my days. Like, that weirdo. I read tarot cards, crystals. Like, I know, I mean, I'm still into that stuff, and which is funny. Is because if I could stop drinking alcohol, I'm gonna start reading tarot cards again.
So you're like into like meditation, yoga, and all that stuff.
Which is another reason why that hating ass piece of shit needs to get off my dick. I am amazing. Fuck you. I hate
Damn,
it.
Let it out.
No, it's just like I hate like that piece of shits like that are the reason why, thank you, people don't try. Cause you try and there's gonna be that one person that's like, that's stupid. And then you're like a weak person is gonna hear that and be like, okay, it's stupid. I'll just sit in my freaking corner and like not
Yeah.
like for example, I've tried so many things. Like I had a nice camera and I was like, maybe I like taking pictures. I wanted to try it. What if I became obsessed with it? But you know, I still like taking pictures. I mean, I have like thousands of pictures on my phone, but I don't like photography enough to walk around with one of those sick ass cameras and be like, hey, mind if I take a picture of you sipping that latte right there? Because I see you know, yeah, it's just not me. Okay. So I'm obsessed with acting. Like I wish there was a comedian the other day on stage who was like, just be in a sitcom, you know, like she said it like it was all easy or whatever. It was hilarious because it's like all of us in the room were just like, it's not that easy, man. Because like I wish I could make a living off of acting as well. I'm an actress before I'm a comedian. But anyways, like it's like being in an acting class and you're just starting off, and then there's this guy who like walks up to you and is like, hey, you're not really good. You should probably not try this. And then that's how mean that is. That's what I'm saying. Or like, so, and I get it because we all watch those like reality shows of like people who are like, nah, bro, you really shouldn't waste your time.
That's
trying to-
imagine telling like a baby that's like learning to walk. It's like, nah, bro. Like,
You can't walk.
You can't walk.
No,
Like,
that's
just
what
stay
that. What's
crawling.
that one special about the mom who tells her daughter she has cancer and puts her in a wheelchair and then she ends up killing her
Oh,
mom
that
with her
was
boyfriend?
bad.
Yeah.
That was
What
insane.
show is that again? Do you guys remember?
I don't know.
Abigail.
I don't know, but I heard about that.
Yeah.
Emily or something like that.
So, yeah, we're on the same page. And so that's why what that guy said pissed me off so much is because he didn't attack anything. Like attack something. Like if I'm or even if he did attack something, let's say he was like, oh, because I've had this happen on Instagram before. This guy was like, what? Like, I'm not even going to quote him because I don't want that guy to have any, like, I don't want people to know. But, like, let's just say the guy said I wasn't funny, right? That's fine, you know, but that's the cool thing about art is that, like, you just have to have your little fan base, you know? Like, not everyone like the Chappelle special, you know, which is what I wanted to talk about a little bit, but because it was just really controversial. Like other people, there are some people out there who just like clean comedy, and there's nothing wrong with that. So the point about that dude is he basically summarized the concept of what I'm doing and said that was a 1 star, and I'm like, that's so dumb. It's literally like reading the back of a book, like reading the summary and go, this is going to be stupid. And then you read the book and you're like, it was stupid. It's like, that's what I hated. It just made me so mad because it's like girls who want to dress slutty, you know, the same thing. The guys are like, that's stupid. It's like, just let them dress how they want, you know? Like, and that's how dumb what that guy did was. And I'm just like, you don't like me as a person, so you don't have to listen, but you don't have to tell anybody, I just don't like her, you know? And that's what, I love constructive criticism. Like if somebody pulls me aside and is like, hey, you know, this, I always talk about comedy because that's what I do most. Like this joke didn't land well, or this is a better tag for you. Like that's cool. You know, you pulled me aside, we're talking about it, but just to be outright mean to people pisses me off. Oh, and the reason why I even got on that tangent, we definitely smoked a sativa because here I go. And what did you say that we smoked?
It was like high caliber, I think.
Okay.
Like maybe fruit punch or something along. It was
Cool.
pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I liked it. Oh, and then we smoked one of mine too. I don't even sour diesel. I believe mine was.
Something like that. Hers was pretty good though. Yours
Hey.
was better than ours.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Good. Glad I could help out. And that. Oh, and then the whole thing started is because I was talking about the plastic straws. You like how I brought that back around?
Boom, tied the knot.
Boom. And how, and then I said that's the reason why I was trying to be better. Here I am, still drinking out of plastic. But for me, the born again vegan thing, it's like, okay, that'll be my little bit. Do you guys do anything to help out, like recycle?
I try not to use as much plastics. I don't use straws.
You don't use straws?
Nah, there's
Okay.
that viral video with the turtle. You seen where it pulls out of its
No.
nose?
No, I
You've seen
didn't
it?
see
Yeah, it's pretty bad. So it's like every time I see a straw, it's like, nah.
Good.
Little turtle's cool.
Do you do anything?
So he told me about the straws, and
Okay.
so there was a few times we'd go out to eat, and I'd get a straw, and he'd kind of just give me a hard time about it.
Bro,
So
you're
I try
killing
to
turtles.
do my part and avoid using straws now.
Okay. What about you?
I'm vegan as well, and I recycle.
How long have
that's
you been?
really-
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
How long have you been vegan?
I've been vegetarian on and off my whole life. I went through a raw vegan phase too.
Nice.
But also born again. I've been doing it for like 3 or 4 months now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hold on, what is this born again stuff? This is
Just
real.
somebody who was vegan who started eating meat again, and now we're
Yeah.
vegan again.
Oh, okay, got it.
It's when
Yeah.
you go back.
Got it.
It's like
When-
when you were a Christian and then you're like, I want to have sex, and then you go back to being Christian again. And you're like, I'm gonna resave it for marriage.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna resave it. I've actually thought about doing that. That's
For
a
sure.
whole another like 15 minutes. So unfortunately, we don't have time to talk about that.
Oh,
We all
wow.
have.
Well, yeah, because like I'm at the point now where it's just like, and what I actually love is that before Brody came today, I was like, "Do you feel comfortable talking about dating?" And it's like we talked about it for literally 5 minutes, and then now it's like cannabis and straws. We're doing it, but I love it though because
Right.
I like having a bunch of episodes that aren't just about like cum shots to the face.
Cum shots to the face.
You need to listen to the healthy gossip.
God, I guess. We're all missing out. This is juicy.
Yeah, I was trying to get some juicy stories, but apparently that's the cool thing. If you don't want any more crazy stories about your life, just smoke weed, man. You'll just be unstuck. You become boring, and like I felt like that's what happened to me last night too. I got so high. I really wanted to just have one drink because I actually am able to do that sometimes, and I was really tired. But then I smoked the ganja, and I just went right to sleep. And I was like, cool. Blueberry Craffin. Shout out. Yeah.
Is it pretty good?
To me, that's the first strain that I've smoked that I'm like true indica. Like I'm like, this is an indica. Even I still have a bunch. I grape jelly kind of, but I felt pretty like a hybrid, indica dominant hybrid grape jelly. So yeah, cool. And then you guys work together, so you guys will both be at the beach cleanup.
Yes.
We will be there.
Awesome.
Yes, yes.
Would you like to drop any shows?
Any
Haley?
shows? I'm gonna be at the Ice House on the 29th.
Ooh, nice. The main room or say A or B?
I think it's the main room.
Main stage.
Yeah. Just look up Ice House and ask people for Haley Hackett.
Is September
Dope.
29th though?
Yeah.
Cool.
Sweet.
Sick. And yeah, this is gonna drop in a couple of days, September 2nd. Yeah, and I guess if people who are on my on the comedy show at the Ice House for me a couple of nights ago, they know what happened, and I'm just gonna say sorry, guys. It was yeah. I'm gonna leave the listeners hanging. I'll tell you guys when we hit stop. And thank you so much for being here, guys. I had such a great time. We're gonna go ahead and wrap it up there. I have shows coming up, but I'm gonna drop them on like later episodes, just because it's like I think a month away. And then of course, K Squared still every third Friday in Long Beach. You should come through to that.
Dope.
It's fun. Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna be there
Every third Friday.
Yeah,
Okay.
this Friday, but when I'm there, I'll hit you up.
Dope.
Cool. Thanks, guys. This is the Healthy Gossip.
Thank
Follow
you.
us,
Thank
like,
you.
subscribe, leave a friendly comment or constructive criticism, and we will see you next week.
Later.